everybody, good morning. Good morning. I am going to try and live trade today. We'll see what happens. I'll kind of explain the strategy a little bit later. First couple minutes, I just need to pay attention to price action, and then we can see what happens. So, yeah, just just watch for a little bit and see what happens. And today I feel like it might be a little different because we got some things we're looking at that is a little bit different than the last couple days. So I'll explain it in a little bit. But these are kind of some notes I had from the last time yesterday. One thing we should also look at as well see what variables we have that might like Apple reports earnings at night, Amazon as well. MasterCard was this morning. Budweiser. Let's go back. To hit this, so see if we have any big players. Hershey's. After hours yesterday, we had Meta and Intel, I believe it was. Norwegian Cruise Lines. Guess you can also go by market cap, right? So market cap might be easier to see the big heavy hitters. So yeah, MasterCard, I guess this morning, Shell, Budweiser, Stryker, and Santa Fe, and then Apple and Amazon after hours. So, and then also today, so we have, this was yesterday, Thursday. So core PCE, so that was lower than expected. This came in as expected. GDP came in a lot lower by 0.6 quarter over quarter. Initial jobless claims, that was less, so that's better for the economy. So anyways, kind of gives us an idea. Obviously a bullish morning to begin with, but let's see what we do as far as placing some trades. I'll kind of show you on here, and then we'll I'll show some trade tickets afterwards, just to show the trades that were actually placed. So I'll talk them through, but I won't show the main trade screen. So just be on the lookout for what I do next. So anyways, we're going to check the 20-minute and the 5-minute to compare and contrast. I do think it is struggling. Right here is the bull market support band, if I'm not mistaken. This is the bottom of it. So it might surge. We do have a gap to fill up here as well. So that's something to consider. I don't know. I highly doubt we're going to fill that today. That's quite a move. So if it struggles at this 20, it's also the weekly. Take a look. I know there's a lot of lines on here. Let's see. Sort was also. Yeah, so it's the 25. The yellow line is the 25 EMA, which has been quite a useful line for me. So I do think it may reject here the first 5 minutes. Kind of take a look at the 2-minute chart, see if there's any weakness. Markets are open. We'll see what happens. Yep. A little bit of weakness. Still a bullish day though. Usually the first couple minutes kind of cool down a little bit. We don't know what direction it's going to go. And then we'll verify our trend with the 20 and 5 minute. I know I'm leaving a lot of money on the table by not getting in now and like just trading these things lower, but they could reverse so quickly, so I do want to take a put position right now. Pretty badly, but we'll see what the market wants to give us. So it has been staying above this green trend line. Pre-market hours, you have to be super careful. Like Microsoft is moving. Yeah, Microsoft is the one that reported earnings. They did pretty good if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, crazy. 18% year over year, but once again, they kind of feed into each other, right? From what I've heard, they kind of support each other. So is that actual, like, profitable revenue? That hasn't been, like, manufactured in a way on paper. So what we'll do, we're going to use the 20-minute chart. This is the problem is we like to verify on the longer end as well. So one thing to consider, kind of clean this up a little bit. One thing to consider is the fact that on the daily, the ADX is bearish, MACD is bearish, kind of rolling over. Momentum is bearish, not quite past the 0. RSI is bearish, not past 40 yet. On the 4-hour, ADX is still bearish. MACD is actually doing better. Momentum is almost positive. So I'll even add this and that. But typically you'd want MACD above 0 as well. Positive crossover, momentum above 0, RSI is above 40, so that actually looks pretty good. Okay, sellers still in charge on the ADX here on the 3-hour. Bullish MACD, almost bullish momentum, bullish RSI. Here, almost bullish ADX, bullish, almost bullish above 0, bullish. OBV is used slightly, but it's not incredibly reliable from what I've seen. But we kind of use it as like a, as you can see, a 5th indicator. Always check in EMA lines as well. So here's kind of that bearish push I was kind of talking about. Looks like the ADX is going bearish, MACD is going bearish, momentum is bearish, RSI is bearish on the 2-minute. ADX on the 5-minute is bullish, MACD is going bearish. Although we are well above 0, so that is more bullish as well. It could bounce as well. So this is a 50-50 shot right now. So we've got a lot of mixed indicators. Yesterday was a lot easier because it was a very bearish day on the daily. The weekly is also bearish. And then the 4-hour, 3-hour, 2-hour, 1-hour, 20-minute was all bearish, and then the 5-minute was bearish. So try and make sure at least the 20 and the 5-minute are lining up, but we typically like to see all of it line up. It means you have a higher probability of being correct. This is all still fairly bullish on the 5-minute. The 20-minute, bullish, still bullish even though it's trending lower on the momentum, and then the RSI is bullish. We also have to also look at, okay, how frequently are we hitting these highs on the 20-minute? We do, back then we did, so I kind of like to chart it out a little bit and see, a common area where we peak out. So I can always move it, but do this for right now. Yeah, so like barely hit that and then turned around. Barely hit that, turned around. So I'd say right around 72. We're already at 70, so that doesn't leave a lot of room for upside either. So keep that in mind. We're looking bullish. 2-minute is bullish as well. We also kind of want the news to settle. We just had Microsoft report earnings. Starbucks, it looks like, may or may not have, but they had moved quite a bit. Looks like they filled the prior level I was interested in. Yeah, they had earnings as well. Just delete those. Microsoft is moving higher. Nice. So obviously bullish news for Microsoft, right? One thing we typically would want to see as well is that Qs and SPY are bullish. I have traded other stocks without waiting for that, and it does work, but I've noticed that obviously Qs can drag them down quite a bit. Oh, we do have a gap fill up here. This is something that's kind of interest actually, so might have that Impetus Singularity be occurring right here, a little vacuum essentially. Already quite a big move up, so we'll keep that in mind. Qs are actually reversing lower, so they kind of work together, right? So sentiment might be, hey, Microsoft reported good. They've already soared. That's why Qs are up quite a bit today, providing a little bit of bullish momentum. However, Microsoft is up 4.5%, which is a pretty large move for Microsoft to be making. So, might be overextended. So what may happen is we might get a little, as it has kind of already done, a little deflection off of that, and then maybe a breakthrough, or what might still happen because Qs are still bearish, I would say. So we might get something that kind of steps for a little bit. Maybe tomorrow it goes up. Maybe it breaches, but it could also just kind of tease it a little bit for next week and then break through. So obviously, 50-50 shot, right? But something we'll watch here. I'll go to add some markers there. Looks like Microsoft is selling off a little still. Qs are 675.13. be watching Tesla as well because it's been really oversold. However, Tesla as a company in and of itself is really, from my understanding, overbought. So, oh no, Microsoft is up 15%. I don't know what I was saying was 5% that I was seeing, but yeah, 15%. So, Tram, TSM are doing really well. Marvel, Dell, SanDisk, of course, is sucking in this bullishness like crazy. Wow, they have sold off a lot. I haven't checked them for a couple days, and yeah, they were closer to 1,500. Down 50% since June, a month and a half ago. Like Micron and AMD are all looking bullish today. One thing I've been watching is Brent's. Typically, as Brent sells off, Royal Caribbean will have a bullish day. Looks like earnings came out about 2 days ago. Looks like it couldn't keep that trend momentum going, so that's a play as well. Another thing to watch out for is the 10-year yield. As that continues to tick higher, we start getting into threatening territory. From my research, it sounds like 5.25 to 5.75 is like really, really bad for the economy on the 10-year. So that's something to consider. So I've got some price alerts for that as we start heading higher. But as you can see, we've been heading higher since, because it kind of turned around in October 2025. So I do have a feeling that today might be a wash, so just keep that in mind. I may not take a trade here, but we will see. So all this is really bullish. We are hitting that 72 on the RSI, so be on the lookout for an oversold condition. If we find a weakness on the 5-minute, we can possibly, very strong or loose, possibly find a reversal. See if we go back to check on a bullish day. Yeah, reversal back to, wait, let me go to the 2-minute chart. So yeah, on a bullish day, we can see a reversal back to the 2-minute 25 EMA. So we'll keep that in mind. We want to see a crack on the 5-minute or the 20-minute chart. So this is a bullish or a bearish opportunity for us, considering the weekly ADX is bearish, everything else is bearish here. Besides the RSI, the daily, once again, bearish, possibly turning bullish, still below zero as well. Momentum zero, but trending up. RSI is now above 40, so the daily is starting to turn bullish. So we have some bullish pushing here. But what we can do is look for cracks on the 20-minute. So that'll end in about 15. One bearish reversal would be possible overbought condition once this candle closes. So keep that in mind. And for the 5-minute chart, this is looking very bullish, very bullish, very bullish, very overextended on the 5-minute chart. So possible reversal soon. So consider getting into puts. I buy pretty much at the money options, same day expiration. Keeping it low for the investment, between about $300 to $1,000 per trade. No stop loss. If it ends up being a loser, we'll let it run, possibly reverse, and be done for the day. That's the stop loss. All too often you get psyched out and duped, and not too long ago lost a couple $100, actually several hundred, if not more. Actually, I think it was $1,300 on the fact that I got stopped out 25 cents. I had my stop loss at like 0.00 at first, and then I moved it up to 0.25, and then it dropped down to 0.00, stopped me out, and then reversed. So I have not had extreme luck with stop loss orders. So in the next 3.5 minutes, we'll be able to see if there's any sort of reversal signs here. Also, for a reversal, typically for a bearish reversal, I liked to see, like yesterday, that the momentum crosses negative. Or yesterday, it was crossing bullish for it to go back to the trend line. So we'll look for a crack on the 5-minute, preferably also the 20-minute. And we might just take a larger or smaller size if we don't have it on the 20-minute, but we're looking for a cross down back below 0 on the 2-minute. And there's a high probability that it will trend lower, hit that 20-minute EMA, or 25-minute, 25 EMA on the 2-minute, and then still be above 0. So if that's the case, we don't take the trade. So kind of set you guys up for what we're looking for. Change this to a lighter color so you can see it. Screw it, so we'll just do blue, it'll be easier. So obviously the Bears won this morning push here, but it could have easily reversed for sure. We have to wait for people to kind of digest the news, break lows, break highs. It's like one thing also to consider is that we had a prior high right here and then it decided to reverse. That's something to consider. We might get a reversal there as well today. Oh yeah, Microsoft is probably pushing past my entry point. No, not yet actually. Do you play it at 16% gain for the day though? And at 83 on the RSI. I don't like it. What I would like to see is for it to reject off that trend line and then come back, show strength, and have the support of Qs in order for us to consider that. Do I want to play the gap fill? Of course. Am I going to force the trade? Absolutely not. Right, 20 minutes about to fill in 10 minutes, or complete in 10 minutes. So we'll see if it's faking us out just to drop. I don't see any weakness, just kind of overbought conditions. Occasionally I'll look at 15 and 10 minutes, see what they're telling as well. Sometimes the 30-minute, 10-minute seems fairly inaccurate, to be honest, when I have looked at it. Seems almost opposite of the 15. Most of the time, not all the time. And those calls would have printed some pretty good money today. A $4, $3, $4 swing, which was like, this alone was $18 drop, I believe. Alright, any cracks in the 5 minutes? Kind of. Buyers are weakening, sellers are still weakening. MACD is not turning over yet. We're not getting a lighter green. Momentum is cracking. RSI is cracking as well. So even though we're pushing higher, momentum is actually ticking lower. So that is a very, very strong indicator. We might get our reversal here. Once again, we're waiting for it to drop below 0. Oh, she's just pushing higher. So I've kind of talked through it as much as I care to right now. So now I'm just going to watch and listen. Actually listen to classical quite a bit while I trade so that I can keep the nerves down and focus. So I'm going to go ahead and mute myself. But those are the things we're going to be watching. Alright, so we're looking at the 5-minute crack here. Looks like momentum is shifting lower, RSI is shifting lower. MACD is peeling over a little bit. You can see that lighter green. If it closes in 3.5 minutes, we'll consider it a short. Short will be closed out at the 2-minute, just above it actually. 2-minute EMA using 25 as the length, so this one right here. Once again, we want bearish confirmation. So if this can close low, we should get that push lower. But it could reverse and continue higher. So we're going to play whatever the market gives us. Perfect bounce off the 100-day or 100 EMA. 100-day EMA. So something to consider there. It might retest it as well. So this is the bull market support band, the upper band. So it might retest it and break through, depending on the news, but we'll play based off of the indicators. So in about 2.5 minutes, we won't take the position any sooner. 2.5 minutes, make sure that this is actually trending lower. RSI is definitely showing weakness, for sure. And once that closes on the 5-minute, the moment this pushes below 0, we'll take that trade. As long as it hasn't yet hit this 25 EMA. 20-minute chart, RSI is peaking. Momentum is shifting lower. This one closes in 12 minutes. It'd be nice if this one closed right now as well. It's not going to. I've noticed in the last couple seconds of a 5-minute chart, the price definitely freaks out significantly. So we might be losing our opportunity here. We still have about $1 of downside, $1.40. Now, if I wanted an early entrance with higher risk, I could have taken that put earlier, just simply knowing that there's the 100-day EMA right there. But like I said, in the last 5 minutes, sometimes these things reverse quite a bit, so wait for it to close bearish, and then consider that position. We have 1 minute left. Momentum is almost crossing 0, so this might be a very, very quick trade. And I also won't be talking during it as well, so I can focus on execution. Currently eyeing the 680 puts for about 3.35, 27 seconds. Okay, there's that confirmation. So on the 2-minute, looking for a crossover negative. So if we push lower here, I'll take the position. Okay, so currently in. Be watching for any bullish reversal back to the upside once this candle closes on the 2 minute. If I see it, I'm going to just close out. Bearish, bearish, bearish. RSI is looking slightly bullish. Yeah, 5 minute is looking slightly bullish now, getting that push higher. We'll see if we can drop down here. Alright, momentum is still shifting lower on the 2 minute, even though we're getting a green candle. Also, my candles are white for green normally, and orange for red, to avoid any sort of emotional trading. This might be a quick candle lower. We'll see. Let's push it higher though. Momentum is still negative though. So this could be a fake out back to the bull market support band and then lower. We'll see. If you did want a stop loss, let's say the close of this candle would be that, so I'd get out right now with the momentum on the 5 minute being indecisive and trending higher. However, now we're trending lower on it. So we'll see if the bears can push down lower. Momentum is it's starting to trend higher on the 2-minute. Definitely not loving this, but gonna hold out here. Just wait for that touch of the 2-minute 20 or 25 EMA. Okay, so this makes me think that it's lying because the 5-minute momentum is now more bearish than not. And looks like we're getting that reversal. Actually considering averaging more in. Two-minute EMA or momentum reverse lower. Looking for that push to the 2-minute 25 EMA. It might be a quick dip, so get ready to sell. The 5-minute EMA is supporting this as well. If this closes bearish, we're definitely touching the 2-minute EMA at the 25 length. We have 1 minute before this closes. This is now a rejection of the bull market support band as well. Yeah, see the last minute of these 5-minute candles is super volatile. Two minutes, momentum is still bearish. Five-minute EMA is still bearish. 20-minute closes in 30 seconds. Wow. We have two cracks, RSI and momentum. So that's good for us. Bearish, we'll see once it closes what direction it points. If both are bearish, then we should be able to get our exit. Yep, both are bearish for right now, which looks good. 5-minute EMA, or sorry, 5-minute momentum could go either way. Yeah, momentum is ticking higher. MACD is pushing lower, or trending lower, I should say. Buyers are barely coming in, sellers are barely going out. RSI is peeling up higher. Momentum still favors the bears on the 2-minute. took an opposing trade for a quick turnaround if we break the 100-day EMA here, which we're doing. Okay, sold out of that one already. Just playing the counter trends. I'll wait for this to pull back again. If it does, looks like we should have stopped out there on the puts. See what happens here in the next little bit. Our stop out will be the 2-minute EMA. We'll probably take the loss on that. And then just go from there. So wait for that to pull back here typically. Let's see. Looks like the 100 EMA may be support now, so we'll have to watch for that. Alright, let's see here. It might take about an hour. I don't think it will take that long, but it could take that long. So yeah, probably about 30 to 45 minutes, possibly an hour. So might take some time for that to play out. There's that support at the 100 EMA. Although we're pushing higher, momentum is pushing lower. Buyers are relentless, but 5-minute momentum is looking very bearish. Even more bearish now. Come on. Push lower. Our exit is pretty much right above the bull market support band here. Although we're pushing higher again, momentum is still shifting lower, so this is some crazy price action. It's almost like news is about to come out or something. It is definitely fighting a lot harder than I was expecting, so but we've definitely been punished over the last, what would this be, since June. It's about a month and a half, not too bad. Goes to show if that's the case, you shouldn't get in the way of the bulls. It is fighting so hard. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Last minute of the 5-minute candle, we'll see what happens here. Bearish momentum currently. Well, not fully, we haven't crossed below zero, but definitely trending lower. kind of bullish, I feel like. See if we can push below that. It's fighting so hard. 5 minute is even more bearish on the momentum. So momentum is slowing down. Doesn't mean you can't get new highs, but that is in our favor still. It's this 100-day EMA. It's really trying to form a base right there. Another thing to consider is this ADX is still very much favoring bulls, which is not good for us. Alright, then I'm going to go on mute for a little bit, just kind of let this play out, and we'll be right back. Alright, looking to stop out here. Pretty close. I'm waiting for it to touch that blue line. Come on, don't tell me we missed the exit. All right, taking the loss on that one. So we are out. I think we're break even, honestly, for the day. Maybe down 1 or 200. Let's see. See if it gets back above. There's quite a bit of support right here, right? So, silly spot to take a put play, but maybe if we close the 5 minute above the 100 again, and the EMA starts looking, or I'm sorry, I keep saying the EMA, the momentum starts looking better. Maybe we take another long side play, like a quick long side play. But I'm gonna let this play out a little bit. Watch will probably be in profit here once it hits the bull market support band, upper band. But I'm fine with the exit. don't look back too hard, too heavy. But there's a good chance that it'll hit the top of the bull market support band since we've already cracked the 100-day EMA. So we'll see what the 5 minute gives us here. But I'm going to go on mute and then just kind of let this play out a little bit. Let's see if it does end up curling higher again. And if it does so with everything turning green and bullish again, then that'll be good. Right now, MACD's pointing bearish though, so yeah, very, very choppy day for sure. Alrighty, sorry about that blackout period there. I locked my computer, and obviously that makes sense that it blacked out my screen. So for you guys as well, I figured it would keep playing in the background, but it did not. So, anyways, we would have made some pretty damn good money. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube or not, but pretty good money here, dropping well below our desired exit on the 2-minute. I believe I took a total loss on the day is about $80, but I took the loss right around here, right at that 25 EMA where we wanted to get out originally, which would have net us like, I don't know, $100 to $200 if that would have happened. But it didn't happen that time. It would have been nice if this would have happened earlier, but it did not. So right now, yeah, we're just kind of watching the overall trend. Typically, I think I haven't done it yet because I've been doing so well the last couple of days. Today was different because it was a mixed day. The shorter time frames were more bullish than the long time frames. Having all of it line up bearish, obviously was a lot easier to trade. So when everything turns bearish, that's definitely when we're going to be playing this strategy. But part of the strategy would be that when you have a loss, especially more of a significant loss, which luckily today was not the case, but if we had a significant loss, we would just let that loser ride out, play out. You never know when you'll get an instance where you kind of like turn your back on the day, say you bought puts on this. I'm not saying we would have at any point in time, but say you did, and then you're like, all right, well, I can't time the stop loss, so I'll just hold until a certain time period, maybe a certain EMA line, maybe wait until the end of the day. Had you done that, your puts would have been swimming in cash, right? So I think every now and then, as long as you're making money on the good days consistently, if you have one off day, you kind of have a 50-50 shot on which way it's going to go, right? So if you keep your entries pretty low as far as the dollar value, I think you've got a pretty good chance of bouncing back. Even on an off day, you just have to have the discipline of saying, you know what, enough is enough. I'm not going to risk any more money. I'm not going to average in, which unfortunately I also did today. So this is another learning opportunity for me. I kept buying puts on the way up because the 5-minute, although it did for a minute there look bullish, it started turning very bearish very quickly. And maybe I should have trusted that a little bit more as we were hitting this EMA. Oh, I'm going to shut up here. We might be placing a trade. All right, so don't tell me I just got duped out again. I did buy some puts. And a decent amount at that. And it's reversing like a freaking... what a nightmare. First day going live and I am not listening to rules, breaking them. Also not getting the market that we were before. We're getting a massive push lower. Today is so volatile. I mean, it is, but it's not at the same time compared to what we have been having the last couple of days. So, but let's see if we can close below this prior. There's just so much bullishness today. Like, I think that's my problem is I keep trying to play a bearish trade when we have so many EMA lines under us. Yeah, bullish. I believe it was bullish news on Microsoft not too long ago with their earnings. This indicator has been both bullish and bearish, I have seen in the past. I just wanted to play this quick dip, but man, it's going to possibly bite me in the butt. This is definitely going to be a quick trade. Like, if it can just dump, that'd be great. Five-minute EMA is looking pretty good. 2-minute EMA is looking good. 20-minute is looking good in our favor. We just need that push. It is showing support here quite a bit, obviously, because we keep spiking up when we sell off. It's going to be a quick trade. Once we push a new low, I'll go ahead and exit. I don't like the setup. I thought I did at first. That's why I drew all those lines for support and the descending trend line there. But she's going to be a beast and fight me. At this point, it could go 50-50 either way, but this is why I listen to classical music when I trade. One thing we do have on our side is the momentum. The momentum is in our favor right now. RSI is in our favor. It is getting weaker. MACD is in our favor. ADX is in our favor. Doesn't mean it can't reverse, but the 5-minute does look pretty solid. So I will shut up and let it play out. Got about 20 seconds left on the candle. If we get a solid push down on the last 14 seconds, we should be able to get out here at profits. There we go. So we should get one more push here in the next couple seconds. So let's see if we can go ahead and get that. All right, one thing to consider is the 2-minute momentum is shifting. So if we get any exit, shoot. So it's the 5-minute, gosh dang. Do I take the loss? Do I take the loss or let it play for the next 30 seconds and possibly get out? Come on, one quick push low. Just a quick 50-cent candle lower. Oh, it's teasing me so badly. The 2-minute does not look good with the momentum. We should definitely take the loss. Take the L, bro. Take the L. See what the 20-minute looks like. Whatever you do, don't convince yourself to stay in any longer than you have to. MACD is pushing higher a little bit on that. Momentum is pushing higher as well. RSI is rounding out a little bit. And now we're fighting another loss and fighting for the reasons why a good trader would take the loss right now. However, I do want to, we're still in this descending triangle. I do still want to see if this plays out. The 20-minute has our back. The 5-minute is reversing a little bit, so keep that in mind. We can push lower on this 5 minutes. We'll see here in the next little bit. And then if the 5-minute momentum does start the next candle in about 2 minutes, if it starts it moving higher and above the zero, then we might be headed higher. So this was the drop, and then got bought up right now, and then hopefully we get that last push lower. And then we just wait. The 5 minute has about 1 minute left. Definitely not looking good again. What's the 15 minute telling us? 15 minute, we're looking at a MACD cross down. Momentum is bearish. RSI is turning up, but it might be just a lower high. I don't want to talk myself into holding this. That's one thing that you have to be careful of not to do. Got about 20 seconds left. 13 seconds left. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. Should have just walked away for the day. Alright, we have a break. Oh, no, we don't have a break. Never mind. Oh, wait, we do have a break. This candle got drawn inappropriately. Alright, the 5 minutes. Here we go. Come on, baby. Just reverse and head lower. I feel like that's definitely bullish. It's going to be a bullish candle once it closes. That's a 20-minute candle too. MACD is, it hasn't crossed over. It's not below zero. It is showing weakness. RSI and momentum's actually picking up. I don't like this. See if the 5 minute reverses here. Got 2.5 minutes left. See how this plays out. If the next candle opens up and the momentum spikes higher, then I'll go ahead and close out the trade at a loss. If it does not and it spikes lower, then I'll go ahead and hold on for a little bit longer. We got 2 minutes to see what happens. I literally have no idea which way it's going to go. It's so choppy. It does look more bullish considering it's consolidated for quite some time. But alright, let's see. Yeah, momentum on the 5 minute is picking up. I'm gonna go ahead and alright. I am setting the sell to close, and then we're going to buy some calls. Ooh, I just realized the momentum on the 20 minute is slowing down. It's bearish. 5 minute is bullish. Maybe we capture the top side of the bull market support band here. And then if we can capture that, then I will be done trading for the day, and we'll go ahead and close out. And always place your desired limit order just so it's in there, and like put it far away just in case it jumps up and goes in your favor. But then always get ready to replace it with your actual stop loss there, or your actual exit that you want. Man, it's just not playing nice today whatsoever. Alright, and then I'm going to step away for a minute so I can focus on this. Alright, and just like that, I am back out. This might play quite nicely. I almost feel like this is going to break out higher. Maybe not high of day, but It might try and trap some people and get up here again, hit that 100, and then come back down. I am out for the day. This is like way past typical trading for me in regards to just how I'm trading. It's a little sloppy. Not proud of it. First day of streaming, so trying to explain my thoughts while actually trading. Let me see if I can go ahead and post or at least show you the trades that I took, and then that way you can kind of add up, if you want, the profit and loss. I should be at profit now today if I'm not mistaken, but by barely. Like, the risk to reward was not very good today, so keep that in mind. Not super proud of it. Yeah, it's gonna jump, but it is what it is. There's another 10 cents, would have been another $200, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Step away. So these are the trades I played today. Once again, not the greatest. I wasn't super proud of today. Kind of an interesting day, right? Because we do have a reversal, play in session, essentially. So we take a look once again at the daily. And this is why it's going to be a little bit harder over the next couple of days as well, because we're kind of in a weird zone where we've got EMAs pointing down, but then we have support from the bull market support band. Depending on how today ends, we might be above the, there's 20 cents. That would have been another $400. Oh, that's painful. It's so hard to be right. And, there's $3. So that's 30 cents. That would have been $600 more. I probably only made like $50 today, let's be honest. But you also have the support of the 100-day EMA as well as the bull market support band. So it's going to be choppy for sure. So I don't know if I'm going to be playing anytime soon. What I might wait for is honestly just the bull trend to begin again, since we're kind of at that point that it should start. However, if it does start to reverse lower, I'm definitely interested in that. That play would be something of interest for sure. So delete some of these candles or drawings, trend lines. But yeah, just some things to look out for. I do occasionally, I was actually using this quite a bit, the volume profile here. Let's see if it'll update. There we go. Because that shows where potential support and weakness is. There's actually a pretty nice little, on the 20-minute at least, once we break out through all-time highs, I might revisit today. We'll see. If we get a nice bull pressure to the upside, I might go ahead and revisit. We are already, as you can see, up $19, 2.88% as of right now. So just something to consider. There is quite a bit of upside already in for the day in the books. So, and then a couple, just so you guys are aware, a couple long-term plays that I have enjoyed and like seeing, and not even plays, but like positions, I would say more than plays, is the SATA and ASST combo. So if I kind of had to start from right now, I'd probably buy in at SATA, sell some covered calls, maybe like 25 to 50% out of the money, use the money from those covered calls to buy SATA, and then use SATA to buy the dividend from SATA that pays out daily to buy ASST. So, but right now I did get into ASST quite a bit higher when they were doing their merger with Strive themselves. So it was Strive and who was it? Strive and I can't remember, but I think they did a reverse merger where they ended up just assuming the name ASST and Strive. I know it was Vivek Ramaswamy's company, but yeah, they did like a reverse merger and acquired the company, and then Now it's ASST, and then they merged with Semler Scientific, who also had a Bitcoin treasury system going on. So they acquired quite a bit that way. And then now they're trying to use preferred shares, which is SATA, to buy more Bitcoin whenever typically it was at $100. So par value at $100 for SATA. And then they would issue more shares, which means that they have to pay out more in dividends, which means that they are going to use the money to have enough cash for about 18 months as of right now, last I heard. And then, which is great because the bear markets typically don't last any longer than that. And then use the rest to buy Bitcoin so that they can wait for the bull market to obviously take off. And then I'm not sure what their 10 to 20 year plan is, to be completely honest. I'm not sure if they're waiting for a Bitcoin price to be able to be like, all right, we're going to sell and then pay all our investors back by buying common share back now that our company is worth a ton of money. I'm not quite sure what their plan is with that, to be honest. So it will be interesting to see where they go. But right now I am kind of intrigued by it just because they are acquiring Bitcoin with the issuance of preferred shares, which don't have to be paid back per se. But at the end of the day, they do hold a higher ranking in the debt structure or equity structure in that case, where bondholders get paid first. But Stripe doesn't have any bondholders, so that's great. So it's a clean balance sheet. And then the preferred shareholders, in the case of the bankruptcy or liquidation, would get paid out, and then common shareholders. So, and there may or may not be others in between. I don't know how it works with the employees and what they get paid out and all that stuff. So something to consider, but that is another one that I'm kind of intrigued with because of the covered call opportunity. You can obviously just buy an ETF in Bitcoin and then sell covered calls, but I don't know if that'd be alpha or beta or whatever you want to call it, but the upside or volatility potential is significantly greater in treasury companies, so the covered calls pay out significantly greater as well. So if you can stomach the volatility, I think covered calls are a good opportunity. I wouldn't risk everything in it, obviously, but I think the ASST funding premium, premium from covered calls, funding SATA, and then just keep buying SATA so you can have the higher equity position and collect that 13% dividend yield per year, at least as of right now. That's what it is. And then after that, be able to buy more ASST. And so my goal is to kind of wait until Bitcoin is, trending towards $1 million and reassess at that point. Right, so I do think Bitcoin has quite a bit more upside. So I am a Bitcoin kind of advocate, if you will, in that sense. So just if you are not Bitcoin centric or have that in your portfolio or don't care, then don't take any of that just take all of that for what it's worth. So, which is an opinion at that. Definitely not financial advice, but just showing my interests. Just to kind of set the stage for why I am and what I am in and what I'm looking at. So anyways, what I'll go ahead and do, I'll go ahead and let this kind of play out. We'll take this volume profile. It's pretty messy. Take that off for you. Just real quick, other ones that I'm interested in would be APT. They have a crazy cash balance. They are, I think, mostly affected by the kind of the tariffs, but also the war in Iran going on. So that's something that can be affecting this, but they do have a great cash balance, which is super intriguing to me right now because they're a pretty strong company. NASDAQ has sold off significantly. APT has sold off a pretty decent amount, but not considering how low float it is, not near as much as I thought it would. And with that being said, with their cash balance, I also didn't think it would sell off too much, but considering it is low float, I am impressed with how much it's stayed around the $5 range. Book value is around $6. That's kind of where I'm waiting to see it hit. So about 20% upside. So that's got quite a bit of opportunity. Covered calls on that at $6 are pretty decent. I think it's paying about 1 to 3%, so nothing too crazy, but obviously you can pay a decent amount. So, but if you buy it now and then sell a covered call at $5, you might be able to collect a decent premium if that's all you're looking for. So, and then Servo, I got into this quite a while ago. Bought into it and then was up a decent amount of money and then just held it waiting for a higher price target, because most of my price targets I don't wait for, sell too early and then regret it. So I am holding that one and actually averaging into it because they do have good news. So I did buy with them having good news, and so hope to not be a back holder, but it is something that I am actively considering selling once it gets back up to about the $6, $7, $8, $9 range. Price target being about $9.50. The consensus, I guess, on the street or for the analysts or Google or anywhere you get your information, they say it can range anywhere from $10 to $25. So, in fact, I think their more recent one said $25 price target. But I don't take those price targets to truth. I think half of them are just complete lies and getting people to buy the stock. So, and they're probably paid under the table. So, I don't trust them fully, but I do like the products, what they're trying to accomplish. It sounds like they have been successful, and I do think that there is a chance for it to get back to the 6 or 7. Obviously, that's speaking biased a little bit because I do have a position in that as well. So take that with a grain of salt. Trend is another one that I've heard a couple, actually about 6 or 7 months ago from my wife. And some people were talking pretty heavily about that at her work. So just that they're invested, they're not financial advisors. It's nothing inside. They're literally just their own traders like myself that are like, oh yeah, I have a decent share portion of this. Granted, these people are retired and, can put their money wherever they want because they may or may not have money, but I'm assuming they have quite a bit of money. So, yeah, just kind of crazy to hear that they'd be willing to put a lot into those higher dividend paying stocks, but that's good. It shows confidence in what that company does. So I always think about that too. If I ever get the blessing of being a millionaire, where do you park your cash at that point, right? Like, where do you get a high enough dividend payout or interest bearing account that makes it worth it, right? If you have $1 million, put it in a CD at 4%, you're making $40K a year, great, but you also have $1 million. Should you be making 10% on that? That's $100K. That's double. So it's like, I know there's that 60-40 portfolio. I'm not a huge fan of that concept. I don't like bonds all that often, which is funny because I own preferred shares in ST or SATA, SATA, for the Strive company, which is kind of very similar in a sense, moves similar to bonds, pays out a dividend or interest. So, yeah, take that knowledge with a grain of salt as well. But yeah, anyways, this is the first live trade session. The last one is Mara. I am intrigued by this one as well. I do have a position. It does have quite a bit of upside, I think, from where it has been versus where it is now. A lot of this, I believe, was hype from Bitcoin. So I'm not going to hold my breath that it gets back to these highs. But I do like that they are in Bitcoin as well as now AI. I hate this whole AI infrastructure build out bullshit. I think it's just, we don't need it. I think it's such a waste of money. Even if it does propel us into the future with technology and medical advancements and blah, 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 our world is so corrupt that I don't believe that they will use it for the better. I think they'll use it for more control. My own personal opinion. But yeah, so I'm not in love with the AI portion of this. I just kind of hopped on it because of the Bitcoin trend. And then later on, I found that they were diversifying into AI, which I am a fan of in the sense of them following the trend, I guess, and what is profitable and what is paying right now. But at the end of the day, I don't really support the actual business itself of AI. I mean, it's great for getting information. Granted, they can manipulate information. Granted, they can do that now too, but once we start believing that AI is just so smart that it knows everything, then we're going to take it for its word rather than what we may or may not do now, which is like, hey, get multiple sources. Oh, that's cool. I can post the screenshot here. Nice. I did not even know that. That's a happy accident. That's so cool. But yeah. Sorry, I'll go back and delete that. And then, actually, let me see if I can copy that, delete it, put that on cues, and then we'll tally it up. You can see what I made today. Definitely took a lot more risk than I wanted to. I'm not proud of that. Today was a learning moment, especially doing it live as well. I always, even before I started, I was like, I gotta pay attention to the trade and not worry about talking and explaining everything. But I would like to grow this channel, maybe get 100 people that will eventually be paid subscribers to trade live. Obviously, the replay can be done without the live or without the paid subscription. But at some point, I would like the paid subscription for people tuning in live. So may start a Patreon or something of this sort down the road. So right now it'll be free. Just trying to grow the user base once again, but just with my interest in, Microsoft. My interest in trading and growing it, I would like to make it obviously lucrative with trading, but would like to have the guaranteed income of having a business of creating content of trading as well. I think that would be super cool. So trading can be hit or miss one day, right? But as long as I've got some good, I'm just trying to decide if I want to buy in on this right now. We're about to hit all-time highs. Qs were not looking too good though. MACD is looking more bearish than not. Momentum depends on how this closes. RSI is pushing higher again. Obviously, we can get up to 80 RSI with no problem. That was a morning push, but intraday, let's see, what do we do intraday? Say about 78. Go off of this most recent high back there. That's on the 20 EMA. So it kind of did what I said, just over a shorter time frame, but did pull back, and now we're pushing higher. That's why I'm interested. We also have this fill and volume profile. Or no, this is the gap fill, actually. This is even stronger. Impetus, singularity. That's what we're talking about. It's a vacuum. It's a void. It's a space that needs filled. The 5-minute chart is looking bullish. ADX bullish. Momentum bullish. RSI bullish. Checks out. 20-minute could trend higher on MACD. Right now is starting to trend lower. Both these could be bullish. I am intrigued. And on my phone, I will pull up a 5-minute chart of Qs to see where that is trending. I think I'll do calls on this as well. Okay, so Qs are pushing higher. Oh, dang, this is enticing, but I don't want to be buying the top. I'm going to wait until we at least... This is the problem. This is what I see happening. First of all, one thing to consider is on the 2-minute, our momentum is not pushing higher. If it was trending higher from like here to here, so whatever happened here, this slowdown really killed the momentum. I don't like that. What I can see happening is people are like, oh shit, the gap is about to fill, psych, and then we sell off again. And that sell off might be even stronger because we just made another all-time high. Some people could look at the longer time frame and it looks like a double top. And then we start to pull back significantly. We also have a gap fill to the downside now because Microsoft is so choppy right now these days. Massive gap fill right here. I do think long term, people want to buy stocks. They want to buy assets. They want to invest. They know that the money is just inflating like crazy and that their money is shit. The US dollars is shit. So they want to put it in an asset that grows in value, that makes them wealthy. So I do think long term, you don't have to backtrack to fill a gap to the downside. I think it's stronger for your case to consider a bull run to the upside. But once again, I don't think it has to happen. See, look, back in 2025, what happened? We gap filled up and then continued running and did not fill that for Feb 26th, May 25th. So that's 9 months. We did not fill that for 9 months, and we didn't even have to. I think the only reason why is because the AI boom right now, and that's completely destroyed software. So I'm hesitant on this trade. 5 minute and 20 look great. 2 minute, I need more strength. So watching Q still. I don't want to change the screen because if it moves quickly, we're going to miss the boat or the train or both. So let's be very smart, very cautious. All right, momentum is starting to tick up higher. We'll see how this 1 minute closes. If it just starts soaring, I'm not going to get in because I don't like the momentum on it. Although the calls have already gone up like 5 to 10%. So keep that in mind as well. I also don't like playing overextended situations where it's just like up, 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 up. In the morning, that's different because you have such a push for people buying in the morning. People probably have orders that are filling, like stop buy orders that just drive the price higher. You also have the news that's been in effect pre-market. So, oh, this is so painful. I want it. I want it so badly, but I don't. That's $5 more to the upside. Microsoft is already up 16%. Oh my gosh. How many times have you ever seen Microsoft be up 16%? That's 4% right there. Boom, 4%. That one candle. Oh, what about the jump up last time? Let's see what that was. I don't even think that was 16%. See it open there, hit high. Yeah, 10%. Oh my gosh, it's filling the gap right now as we speak. Oh no, just barely. Oh gosh, this is painful. This is FOMO right here. For sure, this is FOMO. But look at that momentum. That momentum's fading. Told you. Look at that. I drew the blue arrow, and it's doing that. Nah, it might catch some bids here. Just keep pushing higher, but we'll see how it plays out over the next little bit. I don't like that momentum, though. That's for sure. The Qs are also currently trending inside of the little gap between the 100-day EMA and the bull market support band. Being in here, so we've got resistance and support. So we could just get chopped, which could be good for Microsoft because then we don't have any sort of clear indication that the markets are selling off. No fear building. Oh, this day's going to be good. Oh no, Meta screwed it up today. Meta, UPOS. Facebook is overrated. I don't know how this company is still alive, honestly. People don't even get on Facebook. I think Instagram is keeping it alive, to be honest. Facebook, I don't even use Facebook anymore. Not that I'm what matters, but like I just don't know too many people that are always on it. I mean, kind of, maybe, I don't know. I just feel like it's a fad dying like MySpace. People want to be physically, socially connected, not electronically. Oh, I'm gonna regret not buying this watch. Yeah, we're already up like $1.50. It's about 20% on the calls. The EMA, or I'm sorry, I keep saying EMA. I don't know why, but the momentum is increasing too. What could also happen too is that, it just reverses mid-gap, goes down for several days, and then closes the gap a day later. Or like several days later. A week later even. 2 weeks. So, I don't know. I don't like it, guys. Everything looks pretty good, but honestly, like playing the hype from here to the gap might have been a better call. So like from here to there might have been better because they're like, oh, it's going to go to the gap and the gap's going to fill. And then he could have just collected that. But, because, it didn't even pull back in the 2 minutes. The last 6 minutes, it hasn't pulled back from breaking that all-time high of the day. So that would have been a better buy, I think. Here, it's like, it's too much risk. The momentum is looking pretty good, though. Yeah, so I had an order in or a limit price ready to go for $7.50. That was on the high side. So the bid was like down in the low sevens. And now the bid is $9 and the ask is $9.25. Now $9.30, now $9.50, $9.60, $9.75, $9.95, $10. And there goes 40%. I was about to buy, I had 2 shares in at $7.50, or 2 contracts, sorry. So it would have been about $1,500. 40% of that would be $600. So would have been a good play. But once again, I would be very tempted to hold until the gap fills, and we're already getting a pullback. Just to make it look like I'm right, we'll go ahead and put this up here. One thing that you could do too is just watch this 2-minute chart. If the momentum doesn't slow down, which it doesn't look like it is, honestly, you could try and just buy in here if you want. 5-minute is looking good still. That closes in 1:50 if you wanted to wait to see how that closed. It's kind of hard too though, because then people might be like, okay, the 5-minute closed, it was bullish, but it did pull back a little bit, so since there is some weakness, I'm going to sell it. So almost at the end of the 5-minute candles, it is confirmation that the trend is continuing, but at the same time, it's like, I start looking to take profit when people are not, and they're like, oh, it's going to continue. So, what to do? Let's see, 20-minute has 0 weakness. We're still below the RSI 78. I think there's still upside, but I just really wish it would pull back first to the gap entry. So like, actually I don't think I can modify this. Something like this would be, and then a breakout of that, because then we have a pullback. We're in the gap. There's not a lot left to cover. And then what I normally would do is, if I'm really conservative, I'll take 75% of the gap fill instead of all of it. So let's just round down. It's about $4, so 75% would be about $3. So I would look to sell at about the $3 mark, which we're pretty dang close to. Just because I have seen it where it's like, oh, it almost fills the gap and it's maybe, I don't know, 0.5% off, and then it sells off and doesn't fill the gap for, once again, several weeks or days or something. So I like to be more conservative. If you want to take it at 50% of the gap, you'd be out already at profit. Many different ways to play that. But I also have seen it where it breaks into the gap and then quickly reverses after going into it, like just a couple percentage points. So Qs are above the 100-day EMA. So we are getting a bullish trend on that. I'll go ahead and leave Microsoft alone. I do want to see it push lower before building support again. If it maintains everything in a bullish state, reverses and breaks this trend, I will consider it. But now we are about 60 to 70% up for the day. So I also think there's always momentum behind Tesla, especially on sell-offs. Like, look how quickly it just skyrockets all the time. Okay, this took a little bit, but it only took, 4 or 5 days before it was back up and wiped out weeks worth of sell-off. So I am looking at a possible reversal on this, playing to the upside. It's away from my strategy, so it'd be a high-risk play, and I would have to feel super confident with it. But that is another one that I'm considering. Obviously, I use the 20-minute charts, so the max that I really keep track of is the 200 EMA, and that is right about there. So I won't be touching this until it hits above there, just so you guys are aware. But let's get back to Qs. Qs are pushing higher. They may break. How did this get so big? I mean, I know I made it bigger, but did I really make it that big? Ay. Alright, she's moving fast, though, so we gotta pay attention. Fast is relative, but it doesn't take... It takes all but, one candle for it to hit all-time highs again, so... let's just do some quick math. I think it's about 65 cents for a contract. So with that being said, I'm just going to add up all the contract cost, and then that way we can just subtract it at the end. So with that being said, why did you get big? There we go. Okay, so we've got 20 that filled on the buy, 20 that filled on the sell. That was the last two. We have 4 and 4. And then we have 16. And then we have 8, 10, 10, 4, 4. It's about 100, right? So we've got 20, 40, 60, 64, 72, 82, 92, 96, 100. So 100 times 0.65. So $65 in commission. Just like that. Imagine being a broker. You're just raking in the dough for all these option traders. Especially now, retail just loves to gamble on options. Let me tell you, I would know. So buy to open. Oh, dang, this is going to be hard. It's a lot easier if you just have the cost basis and the proceeds. But let's see what we can do. So 4 times 3.29. So we'll do actually 400 times 3.29 because it's a call, so that represents 100 shares. So that was 1316 in cost basis. I'll put this one over here for the total. Actually, I'll make this a little bigger for you guys. 1316, so that's the total for that. Then we have, let's see, gotta make sure these are buys too. So that's a buy 2. So that's 400 times 2.72 plus 1088. I already did the math on these ones, but I'm gonna do them again for you, just to show on screen what I do, times 2.93 was the entry on that one. That one helped lower our average. Oh, this was the call. Never mind, this is a different place. So, let's see. Buy to open put, and buy to open a put. This was the last one for the puts, times 1.65 is 100 plus 1320 divide. Actually, we'll just leave it as, yeah, that was the cost basis, and then we sold those 16 times 2.1. So we sold it for 33.60 minus what we paid for it, 37.24. So we have negative $364 profit so far for trade 1. I guess I could type this. We're getting creative here. Oh man, the calculator disappears, but we'll say negative 360. Oh, you can pull this forward, bring to front. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, and then we'll keep going. Sorry, this is so painfully slow. I can normally do this super quick, but I'm trying to show you guys, so yeah, it's just taking a minute. So, bought 10, sold 10, that one's easy. Essentially, you just do 10 contracts, which is 100 shares each, so 1,000 shares total, times that by 315. Or no, it filled actually. I put the limit at 315 because it moves so quick, but it filled at 293. Sorry, I should put the decimal in there. So it cost $29.30. Sold it for $3,250. Just trust me on the math on that one. Let's see. So it'd be 1,000 times 3.25, which is $32.50, minus our entry of $29.30. So on that one, we made $320. I don't know why it's so a little glitchy or whatever. It's kind of annoying. Some things to work on. Their what is this thing called? Trading View. Okay, next one. Let's do. Oh, yep, those are my calculators or my desktop screen. Let's see. We sold the 16. Sold all these. So 4 out of 4. So 400 times 2.95 was the fill, and we sold it because all our puts sucked so bad today. That's what you get for buying on a green day. And we sold it for 400 times 1.92. So subtract the cost of 1180. We lost 412 on that one. I'm trying to be efficient here, and it's being even more painful. So what was it? 412 is what we lost on that. I can't see, dear. Just gonna fly blind here. There we go. 412 loss on that one. And last but not least, that should bring us positive moment of truth. And if we would have held it for 2 more seconds, we would have made $600 more. But then it quickly sold off. So can't be too greedy. Actually, we'd be at a lot of profit now if I held that. Those ones are currently worth $3.15. It's another 40 cents higher, 45 cents higher. But we had 20 because I was getting a little desperate, let's be honest. I wanted this to be a green day, and that is definitely not good risk management. So been trading for 14 years and still making mistakes like that. That we will not be making again. Let's see, 20 times, let's do it on this side first, or 2,000 times 3 point, or no, it filled at 2.4. So 4,800 was invested. Yeah, that's I mean, I've definitely traded more than that in one trade, but since I've been trying to be more risk averse, that was not smart. They filled at 272 minus our entry. So that was $640 profit. So moment of truth plus 640. And then don't forget we have $65 in commission. Plus they have like random ass trading fees of pennies. So it'll be slightly less than this, but we'll start out at negative 65, negative 412, negative 364. So it could have been a bad day, but we made 320 and then 640. So we're up $119. All that stress for $100. But to be fair, our goal is $150 a day. If you did not know, which I don't know why you would have, but it is $150 a day, which is about $3 grand in 20 trading days, which typically in a month you get about 20 to 22 trading days, I believe it is. So, yeah. So we're not too far off of our goal, and yesterday we made 200, so we should be above our goal for the week, if you will, if you want to average that out. But anyways, let's see. And once again, we're range bound between the 100 EMA and the bull market support band. Just chilling there. Yeah, look how many times it's touched. This is the 2 minute. Let's see what the 5 minute looks like. It's like we're bullish. No, we're not. We're bearish. No, we're not. We're bullish. No, we're not. There's no trend right now. It's pretty painful to watch. So, anyways, I'll stop talking. If anything develops, I'll pull it up. Microsoft is okay. Hold on. Yeah, see, nope. It's a trap. It's a trap, ladies and gentlemen. No, I have seen the momentum die down, but it's still push higher. So it might still close the gap, but that 2 minute, not good. Oh, and that 5 minute, not good. I would not want to be a call holder right now if you're waiting for higher upside. Like, if it does push higher, it might not break all-time highs. If it does push higher, you might want to take your profit or cut your loss. But MACD on the 2 minutes crossing over. Momentum is drastically dropping. I wish I could short this. And then here's the possible break. Oh, wait. Wouldn't short until negative, although it does look very enticing right now. Negative on the MACD. So it might still work out, might just be a temporary pullback. We'll see. It has been pretty bullish for the day, so I'll keep this pulled up just so you guys can be entertained. I'm gonna write down my profit and loss here, because I do keep track of that in a little journal. So we had 4 trades today. Oh, I guess the last one was $615, not $612. So we got a couple more bucks out of that one. And then the prior one to that was also a loss, which I should have cut earlier. Once again, if I cut my losses earlier when they're reversing, I think we'd be at a lot more profit. And that is called risk management. Yeah, that momentum's just getting shot. It is now negative. I would short it at this point and probably take profit at the lower gap range. Just a mental level. All right, so actual numbers are in, and it was $123.90 gain for the day. So, had I taken that entry on Microsoft, we'd be at profit above my 150 price target. Had we kept those calls a little longer, had we cut our losses a little bit sooner, we just have to be robotic, you know? No emotion, do what's needed, what's necessary. There's that short position just playing out. I wish I had puts. Oh, so beautiful. Perfect $1 sell. That momentum is still pushing. There's no way it's slowing down. It'll probably even hit the 25 EMA. If this candle closes pretty low in 10 seconds, then I would expect it to hit in this range right here. If you want to just take profit and be safe, do it right now. But I do think, yeah, still pushing lower. Yeah, 5 minutes supporting this. MACD's curling over. RSI's curling over. I don't trust this rally. This is going to be a fake buy signal. Or not even a buy signal, but like a fake bull push. I'm not even in this, and I can't wait to see how it pans out. It's cool to sit back and not trade with your actual money and just see if you were right. But it sucks too, because if you were right, then you could have made money. I still don't believe this rally. I think it's fake news. Granted, that happened on Qs too, and it turned out to be actual rally, but I do think we turn over here still. But if this candle closes above this one like it's about to do, then maybe it's a bullish reversal. And you'd want to take your loss. Five minutes telling me no, though. Yeah, see that? See that? I told you. It's fake. It's all fake news. Momentum's pushing lower. It's only one candle, but lower on the 20-minute for that as well. 5-minute candle closes in 1 minute, so it will pair with not this candle, but next. Okay, this is a bearish signal too. Buyers came in, they couldn't hold it, so now it's pushing lower. We're about to get our price target, and I would, to be safe, if I was in, which I'm not, but if I had puts, I would sell right about wait for it. Dang, probably right there. I don't know. I want it to cross right now. I would sell right now. I do think it will trend lower, but if I'm being risk off, then or like lower risk, then in better risk management, then I would sell right now. So, do I think it can trend lower? Yeah, this candle will probably close down. Another one will open, close down. Another one will open, and then finally hit the EMA. So there's that. You also have to consider the 5-minute just closed and it did stay above the entry gap. So there is a little bit of strength there. Everything here is still bullish, or bearish, sorry, besides the ADX, which is bullish. Obviously, sellers are coming in and buyers are selling off, but they still own the stock, right? They're still in control. So that's something to consider. It'll be interesting to see how this 4-minute closes. I think maybe we close above the entry on the 20-minute. So that'll be interesting. So see, that's why I'm more conservative than not. It's better to leave money on the table than to just be completely wrong and then hate yourself and then have it reverse on you, which it did earlier today. You guys witnessed that. It did that to me earlier today. I pointed out that probably should take the L on it. It would have been first one would have been a loss of. Wait, we made money on the first one? Oh no, it's because I averaged in and then didn't take the loss until after I made money on the call, which was after I got in the first one, which was a loss. Anyways, it probably would have been like, I think it was like $180 loss had I cut it when I saw and was like, oh yeah, I should probably cut it at the 2-minute and the 5-minute. So gotta trust your gut on that one for sure. The first loss was 380 by the time we got out, but that was also averaging in significantly and waiting for the pullback, which I don't like to do because it could easily keep rallying. I have seen days where it just non-stop rallies and it's painful if you're in puts. I don't use the 1-minute. I think it's all noise. I think the market makers are just like a big F you and then make you stress about everything. Like, how do you make sense out of this on the 1-minute? It just doesn't make sense. MACD, I mean, it's pretty clearly trending down from this point, but you got to rally, and then it came back down, and then it built a base, and then it could have easily gone up, but it reversed. But to me, you see that more clearly by waiting until now, when the MACD crosses right there, and then it did sell off that candle later. So that's just me. I think 2 minutes, a lot better. I'm actually surprised by this move. I think if this 5-minute closes low, like down around this area, obviously if it drops to a new low, it is bearish, but I think if it closes around there, then it might push to that 2-minute area. But with that in mind, the 5-minute momentum is starting to turn higher. RSI is higher, not higher highs, but pointing up, which shows a direction change. So let's see what this 20-minute does. The 20, the 5, and the 2 are all going to line up for this last close. I mean, it's not the last candle, but also what you can typically see is kind of stair steps up before it falls or peels over. So that's another thing to look out for. So this price action makes me think it's going to sell off again and actually hit our price target of this EMA. But what's going to happen is it's going to take so much time that by the time it does sell off, it's going to hit this. But at that point, this line's going to be up here, back at the green, where you could have got out 10 minutes ago with less stress. So once again, if it seems like it's too short, maybe it is, maybe it's not. I mean, heck, one of the put positions on Qs would have made me $1,600 today that you guys witnessed that I got out on and then walked away, and that's when I locked my computer screen. But, you you set your stop losses mentally, or actually place the order, and or you find price points that you're comfortable with getting out, and you know what? It could keep going the other way, where you're making money, but then it could also reverse, and you could start losing money. So it's better to take what you're given than to beg for more. So another thing of interest too. Didn't I tell you? It was right in that uptrend, and now it's crashed below. Using that as resistance now. That, no, I don't love to use the 1 minute, but just to show you guys the price action. Held it as support, sold off. They thought it was going to keep going, and it didn't, so it came back, and then sold off, closed above, opened higher, and then broke the trend again. And now it's testing that again. And I think, let's see, 2 minute is slightly bullish, could go either way for the momentum. Momentum's my biggest indicator that I use for sure at this point. MACD is pushing lower. There we go. There's the move lower. That closes in 25 seconds. Man, that's a nice candle. That's so bearish. If it closes, I don't know, it could just jump up last second. That's why you got to be careful. Oh yeah, the 20 minute closed. Sorry, we'll watch the 2 minute for this last couple seconds and then switch it over. That's bearish for sure. Boom. And I think it's going to hit. We're getting pretty dang close. Use 50-cent levels too. So this is at 45. I would close out at like 65, 60 maybe. Yeah, I'd close out right now. So I told you it was going to hit. So anyways, yeah, if you want to play safe and be more risky and take and beg for that higher profit, boom, or not beg for it and sell out early. And if you want more profit, but it also depends too, right? If you're in puts that expire that same day, great, you're going to make a lot of money. But if it takes forever for it to get to that point, then you're burning through that Vega, that option, or not Vega. Is it Vega? Theta, the theta decay of the day. So that's a risk that you have to consider. But if you're just trading the stock, or you've got calls or puts that are weeks out or whatever, then yeah, there's that. So anyways, I told you it might be a risk to get into this. It did not gap fill, kind of, but not all the way. So if you're wanting to be really conservative, maybe play it when it breaks and then sell 25 to 50% of the gap, but not all 100%. Or I would take 75%, which it didn't hit. But if you're playing this, you got to pay attention to the lower time frames. 2 minute, it starts reversing like this. This was pretty forgiving, honestly. It dropped, what, 50 cents on a stock that's already up. God, I could just do this. $63 today. It dropped 50 cents. Crazy. I guess since open, it's only up like $23. But all right, let's go back to Qs. I'll leave this up, and we'll just see what happens. We are currently trending inside the bull market support band. See if it breaks lower today. I do know there's earnings out later today, which we looked at earlier. Now I forget who it is. I think it's Apple. No. Oh yeah, it is. Apple and Amazon report after hours. So it could, like the fear mongering of yesterday, just completely crater in expectation of who reported today, Meta or yesterday, last night. Meta and I guess the one up today, right? Microsoft. So Meta and Microsoft. So sell in fear of CapEx spending decreasing, and then I'm assuming CapEx was fine. I didn't really look into it. I don't really care about CapEx and all that noise. I look at what the charts give me. You could be the best fundamental analysis trader ever and still suck because you might have a company that does so great, like UNH, for example. UNH is a great example. This company is so profitable and lucrative and blah 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 blah, and it just craters, right? Because of a lawsuit. I think it was 62%. Are you kidding me? Not even from all-time highs. From all-time highs. Oh yeah, 62, 63%. Disgusting. Absolutely vile. So, granted, you'd wake up to a pretty bad day on earnings day. I don't know anyone that can stomach an earnings call. But dang, yeah, even in the best company, I mean, you're looking at an 18% down open. Say you had 100K in this, you're down 18 grand just because, I don't know, they're being considered for a lawsuit. But their books are fine, right? Like, look at their earnings. Positive for the last, I don't even know how long. Forever. I think they have a bunch of cash too. So they're cash heavy and, look into it. But I know their books were really strong. That's why everyone was like, what is going on? So that's why fundamental analysis does not matter. It takes one bad day, one bad piece of news to change things. I would rather day trade or just hold Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not, people hate it because it doesn't rely on earnings. That's one reason I love it. Because I don't have to worry about, we're expecting next earnings to be profitable, and then it's not, and then it drops. Oh, we're expecting the next earnings to be not so good, so it drops. Like, screw earnings. That's the great thing about it. It's earnings resistant. It doesn't matter what the earnings are because there are no earnings. So, just a hot take on Bitcoin there for you, but yeah, just my humble opinion. Just another reason to love it. So, anyways, all right, I'll shut up, and I know I've said that multiple times now, but yeah, here we go. You can just watch for the next little bit. I actually might go to take a nap, honestly, because I got 4 hours of sleep, if that, last night, 3 to 4 hours. So maybe that's also why I was trading like dog crap today. I could blame it on that, but I think it's just a little presentation anxiety. This would be ideal if we're playing the break to the upside. Just to cover this before I close down for the day. If it does happen today, I probably will place the trade and go for it. If it doesn't, that's fine. One thing that I will consider is a possible break of this level where we thought we were going to get last time. As you can see, it is bearish that we had a high, came down to that level, made a lower high, and if we break, we could get a lower low as well. And then we could see that happen, but we might be able to play one of the EMAs down here. Couple things to look at, but at the end of the day, recap if you guys are still trading. So let's add some alerts here before I close down some YouTube live. I'll put it up here as well. It'll be a breakout play. We do have the bull market support band, so keep in mind that's this red line right here and this one as well. I'm going to change this. There we go. So anything in here is possibly going to be chop. So keep that in mind. Anything above here, I think we get more chance of it being upside because we have the 100 EMA at that level on the daily chart. if we break below this bull market support band, that's going to be massive for me. I like that because there's nothing below us, right? On the weekly, we have the 50 weekly EMA, like significantly below. It like merged up there. I'm confused. It's already calling that. Oh. Well, alrighty then. I feel like it updated from yesterday because I don't think it was right there from yesterday. I guess it's a lot more of a narrow range. So we do have. Oh, I don't know how I missed that. We do have one actually right below us that's a little closer. So if you're looking to take profit, consider that line right there. This is going to be the 25 EMA on the weekly. So if I were to take profit on the break of the bull market support band, we still have a significant drop below. So pretty significant. Let me pull that up on the 5 minutes, see where that's at. Wow, so we were actually, oh yeah, so look at that. This is the 5 minute chart. It actually used that as support for one candle and two candles. Broke above it, broke down. It was a fake breakdown, and then held above it, tested it, and then broke out. So that 25 weekly EMA is something to look out for as well. Looks like that was resistance on this day. Looks like it broke through support, and the rest of it was history yesterday. And then it was prior resistance, came back down, broke through it. And then, yeah, so I think that's a good place to take profit, or if you're in a put on the way down already, or more likely than not, to take a short position. And on top of that, I even like that even more over the next hour or so. If we start getting these to push higher and meet up with this, that means that maybe by, it looks like maybe by the end of the close, these EMA lines will be matched up with the, if not slightly higher than the weekly 25 EMA, which I like because then if it breaks below that, then we have a lot of resistance above us, which means bearishness is in our favor. So I'm going to actually add an alert. Do a couple on that one. That one's good. So either way, we can play both directions. Just to recap real quick. I know I said I was going to stop talking, but I'm actually going to end this, so I will stop talking. We've got bullish. I'll just point, you know what charts these are. ADX is on top, then MACD, momentum, RSI, and then OBV. So we have on the weekly, we have a, oh my gosh, I am tired. Wow. We have bearish, I would say. Bearish. Daily. Bearish trending or trying to come back as bullish. Same thing for MACD. Actually, fairly well. Same thing for momentum because we're not above 0. And positive or bullish on RSI. And OBV, bearish, wanting to be bullish. 4-hour chart summary. Bearish, pending, going bullish. Bearish, wanting to go bullish. It's actually crossed over, so that is bullish, but we're waiting for it to go above 0 for it to be like really bullish, I would say. So definitely still a possibility of it reversing like it did back here below the 0 and then trending lower. 4-hour momentum is actually pretty good. It's bullish. RSI is bullish. OBV possible lower high, so neutral, I guess. This would be kind of mixed, I would say. We're getting close to buyers taking over. Not quite. Strength is weakening. MACD is going bullish, once again below zero though, so watch out. Momentum is strong, RSI is strong, and OBV is actually weak. I've heard OBV is only accurate on the daily, but then I did also hear that you can use it on lower time frames. So I don't use OBV that much, but it is nice when it's trending in the same direction I want it to. So I use it as confirmation in that sense. But we have EDX dropping, I guess. And the bulls are dropping as well with the bears. That one's mixed. I don't know one way or the other. Technically, the bulls are winning because they have the higher ground, but kind of a weak trend, to be honest. MACD crossed over, same thing, below zero, watch out, could reverse. Momentum above zero, looks good. RSI looks good. And OBV reversal, but still bearish. The 1 hour chart looks bullish. MACD looks good. Slow MACD here is almost positive. The fast is already positive. Momentum is slowing down though, so that is negative, bearish. RSI could go either way, it looks like, but it is looking like it's trending higher possibly, so possibly bullish, and OBV is more bullish than not. 30 minute, I don't really mess with this because I used the 20 minute. Wow. I'd say bullish turning bearish because we're slowing down on there's a lack of divergence. There's a convergence. It's coming together. So it's converging, so that could be a possible reversal. Momentum actually on the 30 is slowing, so not good. That's bearish. Bearish on RSI, but not fully bearish because I've been told that, or from research, that below 40 is a line that you'd like to see. So below 50, it's like 50-50, right? It could just pop back above 50 and then you're doomed. But if you're looking for a bearish trend and it's below 40, it means it's pulled away from the 50 and we're starting to push lower, but we're not quite to oversold where a lot of people look at 30. Depending on the chart, I'll look at 20. It just depends on your length. But recently I've left everything to the original settings. So there's that. Let's see. Take a look at Microsoft in a second. But let's take a look at the 20. I like the 20 more. And look at that. It does look like it's going to become bearish here. Bulls are disappearing. Bears are coming in. This is turning bearish, but still bulls are in control, so watch out for this. This could still reverse higher. It hasn't crossed over, but looking bearish is bearish. Actually, not quite. Looking bearish, but hasn't crossed below zero. Hasn't crossed below 40, so not quite bearish, but trending that way. And I would say more bullish on OBV for 20. I'm not going to do 15 or 10. I'll do 5 and then 2. For this one, I would say pretty freaking neutral, honestly. We're just chilling between the 100 EMA and the bull market support band. Again, MACD is looking bearish to a point, but also bullish. We're above zero. Our little histogram thing is actually lighter, which means it looks like it's reversing higher, so it could be bullish as well. So I'd say this is almost more bullish than not. Momentum is kind of neutral right now. Doesn't seem like it's going one way or the other. So I'd say neutral on that. And then RSI is more bullish than not. It could be a lower high, so watch out for that. But it is I think this is a lower low. Barely a lower low. So it wants to be bearish, but it could easily reverse. So watch out for that too. That's why this chop I'm not trading whatsoever. So let's see, 2 minute, just last one to finish on. Very, very, very weak trends. We're not really moving at all. This is why it's a great time to go take a nap. But bears are trying to come in. Bulls are still alive, but disappearing. 2 minute is reversing higher, about to cross over on the zero. and histogram is turning green. Momentum is above 0 and pushing higher. Look at that. Wow, what a jump. Oh, I kind of like that. Where did this energy come from? And is it going to continue? Did news come out? It's one thing I'm not connected to is the news. Something's happening. Or it's just been so quiet that it wanted to make a move. Some buyers are getting sick of watching it. Microsoft is trying to come back. I wonder if that's what happened. We'll see what happens. I mean, it could break this downtrend. I want to go take a nap, though. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, this is BS. Nope, it's just pushing up to that high. I would take profit if you're in calls, but it could keep going. You never know after everything I've said, but the momentum is just kind of weak right now, so I don't believe that move. But do with it what you will. The 2-minute does look bullish for momentum. MACD, and now ADX. It's a weak trend, but the bulls are coming in, bears are disappearing. The strength, the purple line, hasn't increased, so it's not very strong with the move. RSI is looking pretty good, all things considered. Yeah, pretty strong. Above 40 as well, and the OBV, if it even matters at this time frame, it's looking pretty good. So, but the 5-minute, this is what tells the story for sure. 2-minute gives the early warning sign, 5-minute tells the story, and the 20-minute confirms the pressure of either buying and selling. So it's just the backbone. I think it's I'm going to call it the backbone. 20 minutes the backbone. And the 20 minutes selling off. There's no way this trend keeps going. I think this is a fake out. People are going to buy this shit. It's going to break out, and then it's going to reverse. Possibly. Anyways, all right, I'll stop. Hope you guys had fun. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you are able to use some of these tools. Maybe look at, if you haven't traded before, some of these lines and time frames. And I don't know too many people or traders that use 75 length or 50 or 20. Well, 50 is common, 100 is common, 200 is common. But the 25 and the 75, I do like the 25 quite a bit. I don't use the 75 all that much, but I figured I'd split the difference between the 50 and 100 just to add another trend line there as possible bounce or support. I should put my money where my mouth is. If I think it's going to reverse from this line, I should just, actually do something about it. But it's too high risk. I'd rather play the trend that's pushing hard than the, it could reverse, but we could also be hitting all-time highs too, so, or breaking out. But all right, take care, guys. Enjoy. Black Mamba Investments out. Once again, we get in, we take profit. Oh wait, we get in, we get out, we take profit. I don't know. I had a saying at one point. I thought it was on my Twitter, but apparently I don't have it on my Twitter. I deleted it. I changed it to generational wealth to be a little more conservative than day trading, because I stopped day trading for quite some time, but I'm starting to get back into it again. So we'll see how it turns out. It's been pretty good so far. Lots of stress, but I think it has a lot of potential based off of what I'm finding. So obviously I've tried everything under the sun so far, I think, but this has been pretty lucrative. So I started tracking it on June 30th, and today's July 30th, so it's perfect. This is a whole month worth. Currently up about $5,200. At the high, I was up about $6,900, and then I let a couple plays, kind of like today, where I didn't follow my trends exactly, and I I was like, I just wanted a quick profit, and I was like, oh yeah, it might go this way. It might fill the volume profile void or the Impetus Singularity, but it ended up reversing because it didn't have the 20-minute strength, I believe. There's just like a lot of mixed longer term signals. The shorter term looked good, but not the longer term. And then it started reversing on me, and I didn't take the loss, and so that ended up kicking me in the butt for a $1,780 loss. And then I played another one for my stop loss on, I forgot what it was, but it was about a $1,400. It was $1,371, but $1,400 loss on that, and then a $900 loss on another one that ended up, I could have taken $300 profit, I think it was, but I was trying to be greedy, trying to make back what I lost that day, and then I lost even more. Oh yeah, I think I was waiting for like 10-cent move higher, and then it was a low volume stock, so that was another problem. So my stop loss blew past my stop point. So I got an even worse fill. So that's the problem with stop loss orders. If you do a stop loss at all, stop loss or stop loss limit, stop limit loss, whatever you call it, with the actual limit, like the max that you'd be willing to take. Both of those, you just kind of get bad fills if it starts moving against you very quickly. So, yeah. I'm surprised by this move, actually, to be honest, right now. Taking me for a surprise. I think Microsoft is carrying this right now, but I don't think they're quite at all-time highs again. Oh, dang, that was a big candle up. I didn't even realize it had hit that already. Wow. Double top, possibly. Greedy. Money makers, market makers. 456.24. Yeah, just barely did not hit all-time highs. I would have been tempted to take that, honestly. But look at MACD. Can I say the right indicator at once? 2-minute momentum is dead, and so is it's been downtrending this whole time. So that just goes to show you that the price can move up even though the momentum is trending down. So it doesn't mean it won't fill, but be very, very, very careful, because it's highly likely that it can reverse very easily if momentum has adjusted already. So, all right, goodbye for real. Take care.